So this is Rhea. She is a 2-year-old pit mastiff mix. I am Alexis. I am married and I have 3 kids.
Hi, my name is Amy, and this is Jimbo, and he's a little bit over 2 years old.
Hi, my name is Emma, and today I have with me Merlin and Wednesday.
Hi, my name is Shirley, and this is Lucy. She's about, we're guessing, 11, 12, maybe 13 years old. I've had her since last October.
Hi, my name is Carla, and this is my foster dog. This is Finn. This is a foster fail from, this is Danica. And Finn is about 2 years old. We believe he's a black-mouthed cur mix. He's a little nervous being on camera, but he's a very sweet boy.
I wanted to help. I wanted to help in some way with the community. I've always loved animals. Ever since I was a kid, I tried thinking about becoming a veterinarian, but I just couldn't do it. But fostering has been just an amazing thing for us.
The reason why I wanted to foster was because after losing my son's dog, I didn't want to adopt full-time on because it becomes attaching. So we just thought about saving dogs and helping other people to save a dog, to love and nurture them so that they could be adopted out to their forever home.
So I originally wanted to get into fostering because I had a cat for 18 years, baby girl. I recently lost baby girl, and with her passing, it left a huge void. And with fostering, it helped me fill that void.
As hard as it is to foster, and knowing that you're going to have to let them go because you get so attached to each and every one of them, you realize that they are going to their forever home, and your home is going to be open to help another animal.
So for me, it was finally having the option to foster. I've had dogs in the past that weren't necessarily friendly to strange dogs in their home. And when my Beagle mix passed away and I got Danica, who's very friendly with other dogs, I was like, oh, I can actually look at doing this because, I always, like a lot of people, I think if I won the lottery, I'd want to adopt a bunch of dogs, but how likely is that to happen? And fostering, I can help more dogs than I can actually adopt, so.
Yes, actually, I still am learning. I learn different things every day. It was more so towards the beginning because I had to learn how to introduce my dogs to a new dog and, what a new foster might look like because every foster is different. They all come from a different background, so some may require more love and attention and patience rather than a more open dog.
Oh yes, definitely, because I've never had a special dog. So with this one being my very first one, it was a lot. It took me a lot of patience. I had to learn him from Savannah. I had to really learn about him and try to connect with him because he had really bad trust issues. And I've never had a dog or been around a dog that had trust issues as he did because he was so traumatized.
There was definitely a learning curve because I felt like since they weren't my own animals, I did need to check in more often with the rescue group to make sure I was doing things appropriately. But other than that, I'm an experienced cat owner, so taking care of cats came naturally.
There was. Just, even though all the dogs that I've had personally, they've been good with other dogs, you just have to be very careful when you foster. When you bring a foster into your home, they might seem okay on the outside, just walking with the dog, but they could possibly get a little different around food, treats, toys. So it's just a learning curve trying to learn the foster animals, plus keep an eye on yours at the same time. The other learning curve was to keep reminding myself, this is just a foster. You cannot foster fail every foster you have.
I wouldn't say a big one, maybe a little bit. Every dog's a little bit different, and sometimes they just have different training needs. But when you've had dogs in the past and you're used to, you know, kind of housebreaking, teaching them what is a toy and what's not, and things like that, it gets, it's a fairly standard process for the most part. So, you know, it's getting to know the dog. There's always a little bit of a learning curve, usually just
So sometimes it could be a little hard. Sometimes you have to play ring around the crates and separate them. And other times it goes beautifully and they all get along and play.
It's not hard at all. I love animals, so being able to love even more animals has just made my life fuller.
Well, at this time, I just have one other dog, and he is pretty easygoing, even though he's just 7 years old. He gets along really well with other dogs. The thing I do the most important part to me is their feeding time. So they are separate in separate parts of the house when they are eating. With her being so starved when I got her, they kind of get territorial over their food. But that's really the only time that they are apart. He kind of does his thing inside and outside. She's mostly inside because she sleeps a lot.
So, part of it's having like some separate rooms or space, and also crates where if, you know, they need a slow introduction to each other, I can give, you know, the new foster kind of a chill out space, so to speak. But I would say actually it helps typically having other pets, especially some of the dogs that I fostered have not had the best experiences with people in the past, and having another dog in the house that, you know, is happy and comfortable and
confident.
yeah, it helps them feel more at ease, actually.
Really, all of my fosters have been very impactful for me. They have all had a major tug at our hearts. I get pretty attached quickly with them. It does suck when they get a new home, but then I think about it like, if they didn't get a new home, then I wouldn't be able to save more.
I love the fact that I was able to get him to trust me and to grow confidence, to where when he's around other people, he's not as scared or skittish as much anymore. So that is my number one right there.
For the fosters that I have had that have come in just horrible shape, seeing them just thrive in their determination and desire, it's just like, okay, no, I'm not going to die now. You know, I have somebody that loves me. I'm in a warm house. I have the food. I have the toys, and you just keep going.
It's hard for me to choose just one, honestly. I think one of the biggest for me was the dog that I ended up with recently, Violet, formerly Velma. When I got her and her brother, they had been thrown out of a car. Someone had abandoned them on a dirt road, and she actually she broke her leg in that, and went through a lot of surgeries, and they clearly had not been treated well. They were terrified of everyone. Like, when they first came to me, they would like hide under furniture. I would have to kind of corral them to pick them up and put them in their crate at night, and because they were just very scared. And eventually, you know, just trying to show them that, you know, I wasn't gonna force them or be aggressive, you know, just sitting and letting them come up to me, or, you know, giving them treats. It was, they were the most frightened of any dogs I've ever fostered, and they came so far.
So I didn't foster this dog necessarily, but when he finally got a home, he had been with the rescue for years, and He was very well loved by all of us in the rescue, and he finally got the dream home that he could ever ask for. He has a human baby that he loves. He has a dog sibling as well now, and he is living his best life, even though he lives states away. That was, I think, our first big state adoption.
June, because he's my first one, and he was a special case, and he's when I thought he was gonna get adopted, I thought I was gonna die, but he didn't. He came back to me. But yes, him, because he's my first case, and he was a special case. So definitely, he's one that I would never forget. Never.
I think my first foster experience, I had a sweet kitty named Ollie, and I'll never forget it because it was my first, and I thought it was going to be so difficult to watch him go to his forever home. And while it was hard to let go of him because we spent so much great time together, it was fulfilling in a way I never knew possible.
My very first foster, not for MACS, it was for a rescue I worked for, and she was pregnant. And my friend kept saying, okay, you'll know when she starts going into labor, she'll start digging a hole, or maybe outside. She wasn't inside dog, but she might, start doing that, or she might rearrange, pillows, blankets, something like that. None of that happened. Next thing I know, she's got a puppy coming out.
What?
And she was outside going to the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so I got her and the puppy upstairs. I had everything set up, and boom, 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 3 more. I mean, just like that.
Back to back.
Oh yeah, back
my
to back.
gosh.
And I was on my phone with my friend who had the dog, the rescue that had the dog. I'm like, okay, one came out. Oh, there's another one. Oh, okay, here's another
Oh,
one.
she's just popping
she
them
did.
out. Oh, my goodness.
And I told her, I said, I think they've stopped now. It's been 5 minutes. She hasn't had one.
I guess each one, honestly, I feel like each one is kind of unique. The fosters typically, I guess the ones I won't forget are the ones I feel like I went through the most with. I had May, who's now Millie, and living a great life with her mom. She had a lot of training needs because before Savannah rescued her, she really had never been in a home. She didn't know what it was like to be part of a family.
Oh, wow.
And she came so far with Savannah. She made progress with everyone. And so, I had her for such a long time, and she was such a special dog, and I'm glad she has the home that she has. I had a pregnant Yorkie that was kind of a hair-raising experience because
Really?
she had some health issues. So, but thankfully she's in a good home now.
If you're on the fence about it, you should at least try it, even if you have children, even if you have other animals. If you have children, it really does help in the long run with them getting adopted, because most people that want a dog, they want the dog to be friendly.
It's affordable. I'm just gonna tell you, it's affordable. So if you're worried about finance-wise that you can't afford to foster a dog, when you're fostering, all their needs are met through the rescue or whoever you're working through. So you're not paying nothing out of pocket unless you want to buy extra treats or extra toys that you see that you want the dog to have, or clothes that you want the dog to wear. But all it takes is love and patience, and that's nothing. That don't cost you nothing.
I think I'd like to just share, again, just thinking back on my own experience, how fulfilling it is to tell them it is not a hard process, especially with MACS, again, because you're so supported, but just to share with them, oh my gosh, you get to open your home and your heart to another animal, and that it's just so rewarding. So yeah, to share.
Maybe start coming to some of the events, get to know the dogs, and cats, because sometimes, fosters need to change homes for whatever reason. So, and talk to the people. It's so very rewarding. I understand that your heart gets so involved, so involved. But when you see what you've done, and they're off living their finest life, you know that you are a part of that. And it just makes you want to open up your house and your heart again.
Well, I think usually what I hear from people is just, that they are worried that they'll get too attached. And it is hard not to get attached. I will say that. Sometimes we do end up keeping a foster. But it feels so much worse to know that there are animals in need and that you could have saved their life or helped them and you didn't. And so it's kind of like your heart breaks a little, but it prevents theirs from breaking a lot.
Savannah and Cheryl are amazing. They helped me through everything. I have had tons of questions about them, about stuff, and every time I have a question, I immediately will go and be like, hey, so this is going on, and they're there. They are there through the small things, through the big things, through, sad things with my own personal life, through other things. They're not just, bosses or, stuff like that. They're people, and they love all of us, no matter what. I've made plenty of mistakes through my fostering with them, and they've just walked me through what needed to be done.
I liked the fact of the transition. When I wanted to foster, I love the fact that they had to verify my house, my yard, make sure that I passed all the qualifications before I can adopt. And I liked it that they met with me, and I was able with him. It was a transitions because it was my very first time fostering. So they transitioned him with me to where he could adjust to me. So that's what I love about it, because they do everything like in a family way. They don't just throw a dog with you. They try to meet your needs, because I told them that I work from home and I can't afford a dog that's always barking, and I can't afford a puppy because I work from home, but I don't have time to stop working to go tend to the little puppy. So they met my needs to try to find me a dog that worked it perfectly and balanced me too.
So MACS Friends Rescue is my first rescue group, and they have given me the confidence to help them and help animals. It's been an incredible experience, and just feeling supported has given me that confidence.
I had met Cheryl and Savannah both through a rescue that I was fostering for previously and that they were involved with too. And I just felt so comfortable around them. And when I heard that they started this rescue, I was just absolutely thrilled to be asked if I would be willing to be a foster. And I really admire them for how they take care of the animals that they pull, but also they actually take care of the fosters.
The people.
The people, yes. They want to make absolutely sure we have anything and everything we need.
Support or food or any expenses.
Yes, absolutely. And with Lucy, she's been a little different case, not your typical foster, because of her age, and she falls a lot. So, I told them I bought these rugs, and they were like, okay, well, let us pay you for these rugs. And they are just so warm and friendly, and all they think about is, of course, getting the animals adopted that they have pulled. That's the main reason. But they're also so concerned with the people.
Well, I knew Cheryl and Savannah from a previous rescue, the one that I got Danica from, actually. And I had really liked them. They were very proactive and involved. And when they started their own rescue and contacted me, I was like, oh, I'll come back. I'll volunteer. Because they were in regular contact. We have volunteers at MACS that have volunteered with other groups and not had the best experiences. Sometimes you just don't get the support that you need. And that hasn't been the case at all with this organization. We're always in touch. They are always responsive. They do everything they can and really go to the limit for these animals and to support the people that volunteer. I know how much they appreciate what we do. And so that goes a long way.
That does.
I wish people were more patient with fostering, specifically shelter dogs or shelter cats, because in reality we don't know their past. We don't know if they got beat. We don't know if they had amazing homes and the people just couldn't take care of them anymore. We don't know if they were out on a leash or in a pen outside all the time. But give them patience, give them grace.
That every dog have their own story. If you just take the time to listen to the story of what the dog been through, then you will have a more open mind and heart to saying, you know what, let me embrace this dog, love this dog, and nurture this dog to be who he should be, so that the dog can be their best self. Every dog that you see has been through something, but the ones that have been in rescues and shelters and everything, their past is even darker. And if you just take the time, I promise you, it will soften your heart to want to help one of them.
That it is so incredibly easy to get involved with. You do not have to have a whole lot of money or even experience in some cases to just volunteer your time. And that is, I have found, one of the most things that we need is just people volunteering. Come out, come help us spread the word about these animals. If you're able to actually foster, if we have more fosters, we can help more animals. And that in itself, who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't want to help animals? So I wish people would just take that risk, take that chance a little bit more, and not just say, oh, no, I can't because of XYZ. Say you can because of XYZ.
The time that is needed for dogs, and I assume cats, I've never fostered cats, but dogs need time to decompress. They come from, whether they were turned in, owner surrender to a shelter, so they're out of that home. They go to a very loud shelter.
Overstimulated, yeah.
Overstimulated. And then they come into someone's house, just, a 30-minute ride, and they're at someone else's house. Mm-hmm. They do not know you. They don't know your other animals. You have to give them time to decompress. And for some dogs, that could be 20 minutes. And for some dogs, it could be months.
When I've talked to people about, I feel like rescue in general, a lot of people seem to be under the impression that a lot of rescues have their own physical shelter that we can move animals to. And that's not true for any of the rescues in this area that I know of, in this area of Georgia. And I mean, we really do completely rely on foster homes and people who are willing to open their homes and hearts to taking in animals. And I wish, I just wish people knew what a big difference they can make. They really are the linchpin for us to operate. And
I think that if you are curious about it, you should at least give it a try. You may find your forever friend, or you may end up loving fostering, because sometimes, you may not be in the spot where you can actually adopt a dog, but you love dogs and you want to help. And fostering is just that.
I would say that you should take time to really look into it and thinking about fostering. It's just a short term. You could do long term or short term, but it's very beneficial to not only you, but to the dog as well, and to your community, instead of letting the dogs just be wild and being killed.
It is extremely rewarding. I thoroughly enjoy it, and there are times like with Lucy, she'll just be with me until it's her time to go to Rainbow Bridge. Mm-hmm. But whether they stay with you as a hospice or whether you adopt them out, each and every one of them leaves a place in your heart, just like your own dogs do. And also by fostering, it gives your dogs a chance to continue to be socialized.
Absolutely. Please consider volunteering or helping to foster one of these amazing animals today. Merlin says goodbye. Wednesday says it's time for a nap and probably some food as well. But thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to support our message, and be on the lookout for anything MACS related.